Make it the personal. Sorry.
You can for being late. It's the first episode told me that. So
Yeah.
You can take your seat.
So confused.
Sorry, I'm late. I got news late too. Sorry about it. Can I get started?
Yeah, let's get started. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. And similar to Maya, and clearly just now, another student walked in a little late. And it seems like there are a few of us who are also still catching our breaths from that long walk up to Haas. It's time we go back to Zooming to our classes comfortably, but this time with a different Zoom, us, where we offer next-gen scooters to students for affordable prices. Let's meet the team. This is Armaan, our CEO, Rafael, our CFO, me, Arnav, CTO, Maya, our Chief Marketing and Operations Officer, and of course Sumanth, our founding and most distinguished engineer. What we're here for is $600K for a 15% stake in our company. After going through intros, we're going to talk about our product. What do we offer? Why do we offer it? We're then going to go through our marketing strategy and give you a bit of insight with regards to how our company runs operationally and what our plans are for the future. And then finally, we'll get into the numbers, the finance, before we wrap it up. With that, I'll hand it off to our CEO, Arnav.
So our product is based on a real story of one of our founders, Rafael here. So Rafael had just gotten out of an 8 a.m. exam and was rushing home to an interview. So he ran to grab the bus and he was just a hair late, missed the bus and had to run straight home to be able to make it to his interview and ended up showing up a few minutes late. So he had to apologize profusely. He was super frazzled for the duration of the interview, ended up bombing it, and he told us what happened, and we all had similar stories ourselves, and we think a lot of you guys do too. So we wanted to build a solution to this problem. So a little bit more about the problem. We think student transportation here at Berkeley is not affordable and not convenient. Doing some surveys, we found that 82% of students at Berkeley are not satisfied with their transportation options, and that's in contrast to 87% of students who do want to go out more frequently. But as we can see, due to the transportation issues, it's very difficult. So a little bit more about Berkeley and our market. It's a large, hilly campus, as you guys all know. It's got limited competition in the space, at least competition that people are satisfied with. It's got a large student population and early adopter tendencies. So more about the different options that students here have. One is buying your own car, but that's unaffordable and it's also not super convenient because you need to find parking. There's other options such as ride sharing with a service like Zip, which is more affordable but less convenient because you have to go to your local Zip pickup point, which aren't very conveniently located around the city. Zipcar is slightly more convenient and slightly more affordable, but there's inevitably going to be the problem that you open the map and you find that there's no cars available and you have to walk home about 30 minutes. There's a bus option, which is more affordable but pretty inconvenient. Rafael himself had this anecdote of when he missed the bus, the schedules are fixed and they may not fit to your schedule or where you need to go. There's also rideable options. So here's a boosted board. There's also scooters and bikes. The problem with ridables is, one, they're not super affordable because you have to spend an upfront cost of a couple hundred to a couple $1,000s. And it's also not super convenient because you need to find a way to repair them when they inevitably break, and it can also get stolen. Other options like Lime allow you to have a rideable but not own it, which is more affordable but pretty inconvenient given that there's no Lime here on campus. Zumo is another option, which is a subscription-based service, kind of similar to ours, but it's not super affordable and it's not convenient because you need to go to SF to pick up your vehicle.
That's where we come in, Zoom, where we're the perfect marriage between affordability and convenience. Let's talk about what we offer. So what we offer students and the general population as a whole is a high-quality electric scooter for your use for an entire month for just $20. These same scooters will cost you anywhere in the range between $300 to $1,000. But here at Zoom, all you pay is $20 and you only pay for the months you need it. What's great is that once you start your subscription and you pay your first $20, we're gonna drop off a scooter right at your doorstep for your use. And you can use it however you want, how frequently you want, for the entire month. And what's also great is that all charging fees, all maintenance fees are covered by us, so long as you go to the Zoom affiliated charging stations. You can renew the subscription for as many months as you need it, but once you don't, feel free to drop it off at your nearest Zoom affiliated location. What's great is that we're going to recognize that this scooter is yours due to our unique tracking system and the serial numbers attached to each of these scooters. And what this is great for is to prevent theft. And in the case that your scooter does get stolen, don't worry about it at all. We're gonna Zoom you another scooter within a day, and you can continue Zooming to and from classes. With that, I'll hand it off to Sumanth, who'll talk about the software and the hardware behind our product.
It's actually extremely easy to get started with Zoom. We support both iOS and Android, so just grab your mobile phone, download our mobile app, and you can get started immediately. Just make an account, you can connect our credit card as well as your ID of some form for us to verify, and you can find our customer service there as well as areas to schedule an appointment to receive your scooter directly to your doorstep. Once you get the actual scooter, it's very simple. You just pull out your phone and you pair it using Bluetooth. We made this very easy and convenient for you all by using Bluetooth. And once you have that ready, you can start zooming to and from your classes. It's very simple. Our app actually has very built-in navigation that lets you find charging stations near wherever you're trying to go. In fact, we'll let you schedule different available spots at nearby stations, so your schedule can be worked into how Zoom works in your daily life much more conveniently. Lastly, we have, can we go next slide as well. Lastly, I want to discuss the actual Zoom hardware. So here's an example of one of our MVP scooters, and Armaan, our CEO, is holding another one up there. We have two different generations now. So we actually built these scooters specifically for the Berkeley environment. In fact, our scooters are optimized to clear hills that are elevated of up to 28 degrees in inclination, making it perfect for even the steepest hikes up. We can also cover a 30-mile range on one charge, making it easy to go from a different city and back. You can go to Oakland and back on just one charge, for example. As Arnav mentioned, we also have GPS tracking built into the device in multiple different locations, and RFID tracking as well, making it very easy to locate lost or stolen bikes. In terms of our stations, we can hold up to 8 different bikes at once, charge within 30 minutes, and we have extremely secure magnetic locks that harness at the bottom region of the bike, and it's connected to your app directly. So as soon as you click the button, your bike is locked and it can't be stolen in any of our stations. Now off to Maya to talk about operations.
Yeah, so regarding the operations timeline, the first step is to acquire funding. That's where you all come in. We want to use your funding to fuel our R&D for our MVPs for the scooter and the mobile app. Then we're going to move in, let me back up. For the MVPs for the scooter and mobile app, at the same time, we want to make sure that we're doing some customer research to make sure there's nothing that we want to adjust in the MVPs before we release. Then we're going to move into testing. We want to make sure that both the scooter and the MVP for the app are up to our company standards. Then we're going to move into a release and simultaneously deploy our marketing strategies. Next slide, please. The marketing strategies are going to be a three-pronged approach: ambassadors, referrals, and partnerships. When it comes to ambassadors, we want to find a group of people that we feel embody Zoom as a company. We want to give them, merch and perks like backpacks and water bottles, give them content to post on social media, as well as give them 10% off of their monthly cost for their scooter. Then we're going to move into referrals. Both the referrer and the referee will get 15% off their next and first month respectively. And lastly, partnerships. There are many different partnerships that we like to explore. The first is with UC Berkeley. We want to offer students 15% off of their very first month with us here at Zoom. We also want to explore partnerships with 2 other different companies that will plant 1 tree for every 1,000-mile scooter, as well as to help us create 100% recyclable packaging to ship our scooters in. Lastly, we think it would be cool to partner with some local restaurants and businesses to help them with their affordable, safe, and convenient deliveries. Now on to Rafael for finances.
So let's talk about numbers. When it comes to our market size, as of 2019, there was a $65.6 billion market. We expect this market to grow, however, to up to $300 billion by 2030. What does this mean for you guys, for the investors? This means that there's people out there who want our revenue, who want our product, and who trust that we will continue to grow as long as our market continues to grow as well. So talking about our revenue, we expect that by year 4, we will have a revenue of about $5 million. Some of our assumptions for this calculations were our initial product of about 30,000 users. We also expect our growth rate to decrease by about 10% each month. However, our CAGR is about 47%. So this is just some of the figures that prove that our company is robust, and similarly to our market. So once again, what are we asking from you? Just $600K for 15% of our company. and also for a 100K revolving credit line. What will this help us achieve? Firstly, we will be able to expand and achieve newer markets, newer segments of our markets. When it comes to the revolving credit line, we'll be able to cover some of our recurring expenses, helping us operate. So, handing it back to our CTO.
Thank you everyone for listening, and let's start zooming for your affordability, your convenience, and of course, your safety.